what's up? In this video, we're going to be examining delta. Now, what is delta? Well, delta is one of those options Greeks, which makes up the premium in our options price. And actually, delta is probably the most important Greek to be aware of before we actually end up purchasing or selling an option. So for example, we're going to open up PIN here. We're going to open up our February 26th expiration cycle, and there's going to be a couple things we're going to look at in our options chain. First of which being the strike price right here in the middle that we need to be aware of. On the left side, we have the delta for our calls, and on the right side, we have the delta for all of our puts. Now, if we'll notice, the delta for our calls are all positive, and the delta for our puts are all negative. Now, this coincides with the strike price that we mentioned earlier. If you'll notice, as the strike price increases, the calls or the delta for our calls actually decreases. The same exact thing happens on the put side, only in reverse. So as the strike price increases, the delta increases as well. Now, why does this happen and why do we have a positive and negative delta? Well, all that means is that you are either long or short the stock. That's all that means. So if you want the stock to go up, you need to add some long delta to your portfolio. If you want the stock to go down, then you're going to need to add some short delta. That's all that means. That you can get really, really complicated and deep dive into this, but on the basics, that's all that means. When people talk about, oh, my portfolio, I need to add just a little bit of short delta here, all they're talking about is just getting long or short a certain underlying. That's all that is. Now, what else does delta do? Well, for example, if we were going to purchase a 125 call right here, we would pay this amount in our premium, and the delta would actually measure the rate of change in our options premium that happens with a $1 move in the underlying price. So say, for example, we pay right around 270 to 280 for this 125 call. What would happen if we get a $1 move up in our underlying is that our options premium would increase, all things being equal, by 39 cents. Now, this also happens when the strike price or the stock price goes down $1, as our options premium should decrease the same amount. And the same exact happens on the put side. So what else does delta do? It also does one more thing for us, and it's actually how we analyze our risk profile. So you hear a lot of things, a lot of people talking about in the money, at the money, out of the money options. So what does that mean, and how do I know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at an options chain? Well, you can just look at your deltas. So right around 50 is always going to be your at the money. Anything greater is always going to be in the money delta, and anything out of the money is going to be less than 50. Now, as you can see, go back to our 125 strike price purchase example here, we have a delta of 39. So what does that mean? What does that mean for me? Besides, we already know the rate of change, but what else does that mean? Well, it means that we have a 30% chance, 39% chance of the stock expiring above 125 by the certain date. That's all that means. So we can actually skew our probabilities however we want. So if I wanted, oh, you know what? 39%, I want a little bit higher probability. Then I'll go in here and I'll buy something above 50. I'll buy this 120 strike price. And then as you can see, the delta here is 59. So this means that we have an over 50% chance of this underlying expiring above 120 by this certain date. And the same exact happens for the put side. The put side here, I want to purchase this 118 put for this expiration date. We have a 33% chance that the stock price will end up below 118 by this certain date. That's all that means. So delta is really important because there's two key factors that it does. It measures the rate of change, and it also gives us our percentages of our risk profile, with all things being equal, of where the stock price will end up in a certain amount of time. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to check us out on our social media. We have attached the links to our socials in the description, and we also have a swing trading service if you are interested. More information in the description below.